On today's episode, nothing but protein.
Nice.
If you think protein is answering your questions, we're turning our dial from ourselves to being of service.
Yeah, but I still have some things to talk about.
Okay. You want to start with that?
Yeah. Uh, John,
Sean,
you really surprised your wife, I think.
I know. I know. Hey, Vanessa, did I really surprise you? Oh, she's saying 90% now, Sean. She's not saying 100%. And I think it's because, so when I had her at the door, someone said, "Be quiet, she's coming." And she heard that. And so that's the 10%. So when I sat her down, she already knew she didn't know who was there, but she knew that there was gonna be some kind of surprise.
There was some snickering, some
Lip
like
snickering, yeah.
you could hear some ambient noise in the room. It's hard to really have like 20 people be quiet.
Yeah, yeah. I think if she didn't hear someone say, "Be quiet, she's here," she would've been 100%, but hey, 90 is good.
Hey, we could do better.
No, dude. No, 90 is good. We don't have to do You know what? I'm launching a podcast, Sean, it's brand new, and it's called We Don't
Yeah.
Have to Do Better.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah, that
finding
sounds
if anyone wants to co-host this podcast with me, I'm just launching it brand new. It's called We Don't Have to Do Better.
that sounds on brand for you, John.
It does, sound on brand. We don't have to The Almost Guy. It's called The Almost Guy.
You're not an almost guy, man.
I know, it's a false belief. It's a false
Life,
belief, man.
it's like I was on a call with a friend and we were talking about like how things happen in life, and how we're
Yep.
just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and like especially in LA, like
Yeah.
I met this couple who was like, "Oh, I know somebody, maybe you can meet this person." It was like kind of a celebrity. I was like, "Oh, cool." And you just never know what's going to develop or how it's going to happen. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's my friend drew the parallel to, like, my career being kinda meandery and throwing spaghetti and trying new things, and also relationships. Dating is sort of like that or has been
Yeah.
like that for me, like,
Yeah.
I feel that I am not really in control of my career.
Oh, that's interesting. Many would argue with that, but yeah, you're saying I can only do everything I can do, but a lot of it is luck, a lot of it is timing, a lot of it is beyond my control, for sure.
Yeah, and
I
so
agree.
can you in AA, they say, "Can you suit up, show up, put one foot in front of the other, and let God take care of the results?"
Mhm.
Right? So we can only do what we can do, and then the rest is sort of out of our hands.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that now more than ever. It's not an excuse to be lazy or just kind of sit on your couch and cross fingers, but uh, yeah, you're right. They're especially in this kind of business where um, this and entertainment, you can only do so much.
Well, in the world, right? We're taught just, like Nike's slogan, "Just do it."
Mhm.
Make things happen
Mhm.
for yourself. And unfortunately, the world involves other people. So we can't force the world to bend to our desires.
How much do you believe in um, serendipity, manifestation, these kind of things that are kind of out there, stars lining up, and how much of it is you don't believe in much of that stuff?
I have no idea, man.
Yeah,
It's like, I, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yeah, positive thinking, one foot in front of the other, doing stuff, like, I didn't believe in manifestation and then someone was just like, "Oh, manifestation is just, like, thinking about something and then doing some things to, like, help that thing happen."
that's a
And I
very
was like,
unsexy definition of yes, yes. Um, I do believe in things that I didn't believe in before, like energy, like, I think there's a lot of stuff that is happening now that we're not aware of because we don't see. I do believe in, water meeting water at its own level. So, like, I do believe that, the universe will match us to a certain extent, you know? And I'm saying this because I used to just be in dread and fear. I used to just have 2 years and nothing happened. Nothing good happened. I came close to a lot of things, nothing good happened. And it wasn't until I started to live on a higher frequency, you call it positivity, but I think it's a lot more complicated, that, then phones started ringing and, just also, like, just friends and just different people showing up in my life. It and I think also manifestation, it's not about tracing something that you see in your head. I think it's about creating something that you've always wanted, but it may look different. But you know that you have it because you feel it in your body. Like my house is a good example of that. Growing up in LA, the dream was always a house in the Hollywood Hills, Los Feliz, wherever, Spanish style, right? Overlooking, the city, all that. I ended up in a little ranch style home in Altadena. And Altadena is not a place that anyone before when I was growing up, it was not desirable at all. But then living in that house and just like tanning my taint, lying in the driveway, taking an ice bath. Dude, I had moments where I was like, "Fuck, this is what I've the feeling of it is what I've always wanted, the breeze and but it looked nothing like what I imagined when I was, dreaming."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like me looking for a rock climber girlfriend,
Yeah,
right?
that's very
Ra
specific. Yeah.
so is a house in the Hollywood Hills,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 right, right,
Rather
right.
than someone who has a sense of adventure.
Oh, yes, yes. And
And
so you may manifest someone who has a sense of adventure, but she may not climb rocks.
but she's gonna,
Oh.
if she has a real sense of adventure.
Oh, okay. That definition is very narrow and might be flipping the magnet, Sean.
No, no, I'm gonna invite her to come rock climbing with
Yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah.
then she might like it,
She might, yeah.
she might not, like you.
And like you said, it's all beyond our control, you know?
It is kind of beyond our control,
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I would say that if you zoomed out, you would see that, I think you're able to zoom out now, but if you'd zoomed out earlier in your life, you would have seen that, like, a lot of great things were happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can't see when you're in it, right? And also, I gotta say, I have no desire to live in the Hollywood Hills. Like that was something that was very attractive to me in the 90s. You know,
You're
it's
gonna
a,
live in
it's an
the
old vision board. You know what
you're
I'm
gonna
saying?
live in the Costa Rican hills.
Well, also, like, that's another thing that I never, imagined, I never thought about, it never crossed my radar, but if I and I don't know yet, but when I get there, I'm gonna have these feelings, and if those feelings feel honest and real, yeah, like, shit, maybe that's the manifestation. Maybe Altadena was just a stepping stone to, you know, I don't know.
Do they have palm trees in Costa Rica?
Yeah, oh, yeah, 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 of course they do. Yeah, they have
Yeah,
palm
so
trees because it's very, like, yeah, even though it's jungle, it's tropical.
maybe the palm trees that you were dreaming of,
Mm,
in the '90s were actually Costa Rican palm
yeah,
trees.
yeah, I don't know, we'll see.
Palm trees aren't even native to LA. Did you know
No,
that?
they're
It was
not.
like they were planted here in the '30s for a beautification
Yes,
project,
imported, imported,
and they have a 100-year lifespan.
and they're one of the most flammable trees. They're the sparklers of trees.
They're the
They did not help
sparklers
the
of
fire.
trees.
So
Dude, okay, driving I hadn't been to Altadena since the fires.
oh,
That's
wow.
crazy. That's
Did you
crazy.
go past the restaurant and kinda check things out, or did
Yeah, I
just
mean, I was driving around the neighborhood going like, "Okay, this house is still here, that house is gone.
oh,
This house
interesting,
is still here,
yeah,
that house is gone. This business is here, this
right.
grocery store, Aldi's gone, grocery outlet still there."
Yeah,
Which,
it's so weird,
conspiracy?
random.
I don't know, I don't think so.
No, it's, e embers just flying randomly, and, some buildings caught, some buildings didn't.
That was wild to
Yeah,
see,
yeah, it's like
like,
apocalyptic, like, war, like, yeah, it looked weird, right?
it was weird. Okay, I need to say something very serious to you, John.
Wait, hold on. Alright, bring it. Speaking of '90s, bring it. Remember that
What?
term?
Yeah, bring it.
Bring it. Do you still say it? I say a
Like,
lot of things that are very outdated.
bring the
Like,
heat?
I'll always say "dude" once in a while, I just will. Bring it. Yeah. I'm
Bring it
out.
is we're bringing heat, right?
Bring it. Yeah, there was a movie called Bring It, and people started to say "bring it." Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna bring it. I am noticing that as I start thinking about who can take over
Mm.
for you, this podcast, that you are quite irreplaceable.
Oh, Sean said this to me at the surprise party we just had, and, it touched me. What a wonderful thing to hear, so, and I think I said something, to kind of like, combat that, like, of course, everyone's unique in
That
their
is
own
what you
way.
said,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. which I do believe, but I did also kind of minimize it because it's uncomfortable for me to accept compliments. But that's very sweet of you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And some people are irreplaceable. Let's be honest. So no,
Oh,
sorry,
some people
sorry.
are replaceable. You're saying, yeah, yeah. um,
I mean,
I
not
don't
really,
know.
but
I
you
don't
know
know.
what I mean.
Everyone's different.
You know
We're
what I
not
mean.
snowballs, Sean. We're snowflakes.
We're all unique, but we're all snowflakes.
We're all snowflakes. Every
S-
because there's no snowflake that's the same.
I know, but we're still snow at the end of the day.
We're all made up of the same. Yes.
So you're irreplaceable. And yeah, when I said that and you said you felt a little uncomfortable, like what is uncomfortable about receiving compliments?
Just in general, receiving compliments, my knee jerk is, yes, but we all are. And then I think I said something like, "You're gonna find someone else, and that person is gonna be unique in their own way," that kind of thing. It's reflecting or deflecting,
Yeah.
and like subtly, you know.
So
Um,
just yeah, um, sounds like it's hard for you to accept that like you, specifically you, John, have this quality or these qualities that make you special
yeah.
in a very unique way.
Oh, thank you, thank you. You do as well, and then also the combination of us creates a different type of special.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have noticed that like over these 50 episodes, it's very easy to show up and have a conversation with you for 1 hour.
But do you think that's because we already have a friendship base?
Well,
You know what I'm saying? We already
we didn't
we had banter right away.
we did, but we didn't really have a base. We had spent like 3 days
Right.
together.
Right. We had banter, we had some jokes, we have a lot of things kind of in common, but right, we don't have history. We don't have history.
We didn't.
We had mystery, not history.
Then you invited me to your wedding, like you did a
We have
lot
some
to
history
like
now.
we
We
do
have
have
some
history
history
now.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
You invited me to your wedding, we did
Yeah.
a retreat together, we've done all sorts of
God,
stuff.
I
We
forgot.
work
Yeah.
out,
Yeah, yeah.
share
In a short
shakes.
period of time, we have done some things together. Also, I see you working out and hey, by the way, if you run into Sean, if you're lucky enough to run into him where you could touch him, fill him up, touch his body, touch his he's huge now. He's got traps, he's got fucking biceps. And also Sean is tall. He's 6 feet tall. You
Hey, you're
can't
not
tell
supposed to
because
tell
you're
you're not
you can't
supposed to
tell because you're just seeing heads.
you're
But
not supposed to tell people that. I've been trying to hide my height forever
dude, why? I would brag. I would pardon the pun. I
because
would
it's
stand on
funny.
that.
It's so funny because, people wanna know how tall I am, and so I say I'm 5'2" or whatever as a joke
Mm.
because, like, what does it matter how tall I am? Like, is the advice any less good because it's coming from someone who's 6 foot?
You have the ideal commercially, the ideal height that people are attracted to.
It's a good height.
I do not. I'm the
It's a
one that they're like, "Oh, I thought he was taller." Whenever someone runs into me, they're like, "Oh shit." Now they don't say it out loud. I can fucking hear what they're thinking. They're like, "I thought he was tall."
d
Mine's
d
okay.
but do they assume do they know how ripped you are? 'Cause you're very ripped. What?
I'm
Too
not
much?
ripped, dude.
Dude, are
I
you
have t
kidding?
I have
Okay.
2 abs. I'm not ripped.
It's
And by the way, I take my shirt off when I work out because that's been the whole CrossFit thing, and wearing a shirt makes me feel claustrophobic. But I'm not ripped, man.
okay, everybody who's watching the video, look at his traps.
That's not ripped. Well, when you
Hey,
say ripped, I'm thinking like a washboard stomach. Like I still have, some body fat. I'm not shredded. I'm not. Yeah.
you're not shredded, but you're built. You're built.
Sean is reflecting because we started by saying if you
Deflecting.
meet Sean in person, feel him up. He's giving you permission now. Grab him everywhere, and you'll see like,
I mean,
oh,
so I will say that I've been spending more time in my apartment with my shirt off, looking at myself in the mirror and liking what I see.
yeah, definition, right? Yeah,
Definition, yeah, just like
muscle.
stronger. Yeah, muscle. It feels
Yeah,
good.
good.
Okay, so you're irreplaceable. I also am noticing that it's gonna be very hard to like even figure out who I can do this thing with.
Well, I think you're also very picky.
Yeah.
You're picky about everything, which is good. You're not you're very particular, you're very
Discerning.
specific, discerning.
Discerning.
So not just about, what you drive, but, what you do, who you hang out with, all of that, and so that's gonna be another, um I admire that because 'cause I'm not like that, and then I always, uh, get myself into experiences I kind of, like, regret or backpedal. It seems like you're more like, it has to hit these kind of notes for me to engage.
Which keeps me alone, right? In dating, it keeps me
Right,
alone.
right, right.
And
But
I've
you should be
been
picky. You should be picky.
Yeah, but there's a limit where you go, "Okay, am I actually just pushing people away?
Right.
Like, am I too picky?"
Well,
Which is a thing that people struggle with in dating all the time.
absolutely. But part of this process is that, that there's gonna be a process. So it's not like someone gets a seat and they're locked in. It's this kind of there's gonna be some, you know, dancing.
It's like
And
dating.
it's like dating. There's gonna be some stepping on shoes and feeling it out and all of that. And also, I love that you're giving the audience, a chance to tell you what they think.
Yeah, which is also pretty challenging because I have a
It's
hard
also
time making
scary.
it's scary. Well, it's challenging because I have a hard time making decisions, and so then it's like I'm being
Mm,
presented with all these options. I will say that the feedback that we've been getting is that it needs to be a man.
yes. I agree 100%. I think, that's the whole point of this. Um, so that narrows it down a lot.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Sorry,
also makes
ladies.
it kind of hard to find because there aren't that many men. Well, there are, but not that many that are, trying to do what we're doing.
Gentlemen, or ladies, if you have a man, drop him in the comments. Um, Help me out. Um, Last week I had a chat, or earlier this week, I had a really challenging experience with a personal issue
Mm.
that I had to, I don't know if I've even said this. I might have already
No,
said this, but
I
like
don't think you have.
I was struggling with with a neighbor basically. And I was going through my phone and I had to call a whole bunch of people to get some support from this issue. And as I was looking at my favorites on my phone, I noticed that my dad's number is still there
Mm.
and that he was the one person who I know would have helped me with my problem.
Yeah.
And that I had called 4 people to do what my dad would have done in one phone call.
What is it about your dad that would have been like the box set? He would have brought everything.
The
Was the relationship with him, or he's smart, or what was it about him that?
Yeah, it was that he was probably gonna validate me.
Mm,
It was he was gonna listen to me, he was gonna be empathetic about what I was going through, and then he was gonna switch to solution.
I'll
And
give you both.
he's a fixer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's like
Wait, a man, a fixer? That's
I know
strange.
it's rare.
That's
It's a rare
rare. Yeah,
quality. It's a
yeah,
rare quality, but he had it. He had it.
yeah. But you know what? The rare quality is the fact that he had both the peanut butter and the chocolate that he validated because we skip a lot of men skip that step. They
Yeah,
go right to fixing. So
right.
he validates, which is awesome, and then he gives you solutions, which is what you
Yeah,
want.
and he's funny, and he's also, like, a very litigious man.
What does that mean? I don't know that word.
He would, like, fight with everybody all the time,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and so, like, lawyers and he sued people, and, like, that's
Yeah.
just
Uh,
he really
sh
had this thing, which I have as well, is that, he hates injustice,
mm, yeah, of
and
course,
he
me too.
felt like if someone was taking advantage of him, he would just fucking double down, and,
Yeah,
like, really
yeah,
make them pay for it.
right.
And so strategically, he would have really helped me with the situation.
So
And
this was a situation where there was some injustice.
oh, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I can't really talk about it
Yeah,
publicly
yeah, yeah,
because it's too personal, but,
yeah.
um and I'm not a fighter.
No, I mean, well,
I'm
I think you can
combative.
be. Yeah, you can be, but you're not you don't go out seeking a conflict. No,
I'm
definitely
too
not.
soft, man. My feelings get all hurt, and I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
get all emotional, and that kinda clouds my judgment, like, I'm just not a
Mhm.
bulldog. I'm not a
Yeah.
bulldog, and my dad was a total I mean, we used to say, "Don't poke the bear."
Oh, he was a bulldog.
He was a
You're the
bulldog.
soft he was the hammer, you're the glove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for me to be a bulldog because my emotions are just too like, I get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I get sad, I get
Yeah.
scared, and it was just like he would have told me what to do. And so I was really like in that moment, I was like, "Oh man, this is what I'm feeling is a lot of loneliness, around missing my dad." Which leads me to this question, which is, do you miss your dad?
Oh, fuck, I know you were gonna say that.
You do? You did?
Um, I'm gonna be honest, I don't, and it makes me sad that I don't, and it's because, I hear these stories about your dad, you sending him voicemail still, which is so sweet. Um, I never had that kind of relationship with my dad. He didn't provide any kind of, EQ. There were great qualities about my dad. So he was, wildly inappropriate in a good way. He was always the funny one in the room. He always said, "I love you," but it was all coming like, because he was an alcoholic. It didn't seem grounded, right? It almost felt like him wanting, validation, always, like, kind of holding me, kissing me, adoring me. But as far as, like, heartfelt conversations, as far as, like, teaching me anything about the world, uh, he wasn't the person for that.
Yeah.
So I didn't have much of a relationship, and also, he doesn't speak he speaks more English than my mom or did, but, not like we can't go deep. Uh, I don't speak Korean, so we had a huge barrier, which is sad. Language. We didn't speak the same language.
Dude, that's wild, by
Literally.
the way. That's
What?
wild.
That's fucking
To
wild. Because I
to
don't think
have
anyone can relate to that, but, like, think about it.
a
Can you
language barrier with your
imagine?
dad?
Well, imagine if your vocabulary with your dad is limited to just the primary colors, like, you don't have the 48, crayons, you have 6. So you're like, "Hey, are you hungry?" "Yeah, I'm hungry." How are things? Are you happy?" Like, that kinda stuff, but,
I
like,
love you. I love you too.
I love you, they know. But nothing like, fuck, like, tell me about your childhood and how was that, and, like, things like projection and, like, what was coming up for you, like, come on, that's not something that he just wasn't there, so, I couldn't get deep with my dad,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
It must be it's pretty wild to have a like, I think there was some EQ missing,
Oh, a lot.
emotional quotient. Is that yeah, is that
Emotional EQ? Emotional, intelligence. No, that's
that's I. I think it's
IQ.
quotient. IQ
Is
is
it? I've never heard of that.
is intelligence quotient, the IQ, and then the EQ is the emotional quotient.
Oh, I've never heard of that. I've never
Well, you
heard of
used
that.
it. You used it. You said EQ.
I know, but I've never. You know what? I use it because that's what everyone says, but no one says emotional what did you say, quotient?
Quotient.
Quotient? No one says it, it's hard to say it. The fuck is it weird? It sounds like the word queef.
Quotient. Quotient.
Quotient.
Yeah,
What does
yeah.
it mean?
I think it's like a scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quotient. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Thank God.
everybody, word of the day, quotient.
It's a horrible word, man. EQ, EQ. And you know what? When I think about EQ, I also think about like equalizer, and I
Of
think about
course,
knobs on an
which is funny
equalizer.
because that's a term that Trump just invented, equalize.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He just said, recently he said, "We're gonna equalize," and that's a word I just made up.
Mm. No one's ever, no one's ever said that word before. I get
Never
it.
I've never heard it
Yeah, he
until
made it
last
up.
week. Yeah,
Okay.
he made it up.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
interesting.
but
Yeah.
somehow you knew it, so he must have heard
Yeah.
him say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe in a different life.
Um, yeah, dads, you know?
Dads, I wish I shouldn't say I'm gonna stop saying I wish I had, this kinda dad. Because there's also a lot of surrender and acceptance, and, I applaud some of the things like, he came to America with no money and created a life. He was always about taking risks, which I do now. He was the original build a bus while you're driving it. He would
Mm.
always double down on shit without being thorough. So, there was a lot of stuff from him, and also I'm, like, inappropriate kind of because of him. But all of these things, those qualities I've taken away. So to say that I wish he was someone else, or that's I don't want to. I gotta stop saying that.
Well, there's also my therapist really wants me to grieve things that I didn't never had
Hmm.
or that I don't have and to, like, really give space for the sadness about the relationship. Like, for you, for instance, can you grieve the parts of your dad that you always wished you had? It's different than wishing
Mm.
that you had it. It's actually
Oh,
just
right.
grieving the fact that you
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
have it. And
yeah, yeah.
I think that's necessary,
Sure.
or according to my therapist, to move forward, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Kind of like grieving all parts, even the ones that, yeah, that weren't there.
And she would also argue that, those parts that you're missing from whatever relationship or whatever part of your life is actually very important to recognize what you do want and how can you find that in other places,
Mm,
right? So
hmm.
the EQ that you wanted from your dad, can you find that in your friendships? Can you find it in your relationship?
Yeah,
Can you
of
find it in
course.
yourself?
Yeah. Um, that's why I don't have anyone in my life anymore who doesn't speak English well. All my friends speak perfect English.
Except for your mom.
From I can't do anything about that, but except for my mom, everyone around me speaks perfect English. Means no more language barriers.
Oh,
Not
yeah?
non-negotiable.
Sure, yeah, sounds good. Where are you moving to again?
Oh, shit. Hablo español, poco, más o
Yo
menos.
también, yo
Sí,
también.
2 años estudio en escuela.
Muy bien.
I'll
Wow,
come back in a year, like, just fucking fluent, man,
increíble.
and super dark.
Estoy feliz para tu nueva aventura.
Oh, gracias. Gracias, amigo. Gracias.
Yeah, I lived in Panama for a year. I picked up Spanish along the way. Like, obviously, I would need to, like,
Dude,
practice.
Spanish
And then
is an easy language. It's such a great, easy language to pick up. I mean, compared to, like, Chinese or something,
yeah, compared to Chinese for sure. I mean, I wanna say that any language, if you're able to pick up, a foreign language, like, amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Most Americans cannot.
They don't try. It's not important to 'em. They should do better. They should try.
They
It's
should
like
do
if
better.
it's like, most Americans, if you don't speak English, this is the dominant language if you don't speak English. Like, I'm not coming to you, you come to me. They have that kind of flavor,
That is yeah.
right?
That's too bad. That's too bad.
Um,
To be a world power and to not speak another language.
yeah.
Hey, if you don't speak another language, it's okay. I was born in Canada, so I was born in Montreal, so I, like, came with 2 languages.
Yes.
But in Europe, that's like 2's like 1 for us.
Right.
Europeans are like, "You only speak 2 languages?
Yeah, they're
How do you
like
talk to anybody?"
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We can do better.
Yes, starting with, education and, injecting different languages, culture in our system.
In whatever way you need.
Well, our parents, meaning now us, we can, do better by exposing our children to things like Duolingo and, other things that involve, different languages, different
Yeah,
cultures. Yeah.
give 'em an iPad. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Alright, you ready for
L
some questions?
Sure, but Logan's gonna learn Spanish.
Yeah, she's already starting to a little bit just, at school, and then it's immersive, so they only speak Spanish. They do a little bit of English, but they really want everyone to just, like, learn, so it's gonna be great.
That's gonna be great. Is
Yeah.
Vanessa gonna do
Yeah. We're all gonna
ev
do it.
everybody's
We're
doing Vanessa's going to school too? You guys all show up at, like, whatever, like, 3rd grade or something, 2nd grade?
um, Billy Madison. Yeah,
Classic movie.
yeah.
Adam Sandler really he's really built a heck of a career.
Dude, I know, and I'm not even that big of a fan of him. Like, his movies, I mean, I get why they're popular, but I've never been a huge fan of Adam Sandler, but no one can deny the catalog of work, yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure he's a billionaire also.
Why you say that? Did he invest in crypto?
No, I think he's just, like, he's been
Oh,
good with money and
money
he's
forever, yeah.
yeah, and he's
Yeah, yeah.
done a ton of movies.
Yeah, he also, like, buys his friends cars and stuff, I think it sounds like he's a pretty generous guy.
But, like, you think back at Billy Madison? Like, okay,
Right.
perfect
Like, he never
example
stopped
of
working, you're saying. He did constant so many movies, yeah.
well, also, like, perfect example of, like, you look at Billy Madison, you don't think this guy's gonna become a billionaire,
Mm,
like, you just don't
yeah,
know what the career is gonna look like.
yeah. He
Hey,
doesn't, come off that way, but that's kind of his brand is the long board shorts and, but yeah, I
basketball
don't care.
shorts.
The long board shorts and, like, he went to the Oscars in, like, like straight up sneakers, long shorts, and, like a off-colored Hawaiian
Like
shirt.
a hoodie or something.
Yeah, like a hoodie, right, right, right. That's kind
Yeah.
of his thing.
Anyways, thanks for being here, guys. That was our episode of We Can Do Better, and on an Adam Sandler bit.
No, we got questions, come on. You
Okay.
know what's funny is we said there's gonna be a lot of protein, and so far it's just been fat.
No, I think there's been so much protein.
Okay, a little bit
This
of carbs, yeah.
this is what people are coming here for, by the way. I
Mm,
don't know if you know that, but that's people are coming here for the authentic conversation about
yes.
um men connecting to their emotions and like being
Yeah.
real about what's going on. They feel like a fly on the wall.
Right, right, we're just talking. Alright.
We're vibing. Should we do a question?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Hey, this is episode 51 this is episode 49?
No, I think it's 50 or
I mean, oh, I'm
51.
sorry, 50. Yeah, 'cause we're on 52. This is episode 50 or
50
51.
or 51.
Shit. All right.
Okay. Scheiser. Which one? Scheiser, that means shit in German.
Shizer.
Yeah, did you know that?
No.
Yeah, Shizer.
Okay. Noted.
All right, let's just do this one.
Hi, my name is Lauren. I'm 32 years old. I'm calling from Arizona. I'm single, and a few months ago, I hooked up with a guy that I've known for a long time and I've always kind of had a crush on, but he has a very serious girlfriend. She was out of town. We were drinking and hanging out with a group of friends, and he ended up kissing me. I hadn't seen him since then until last week, and this time when we hung out, I found myself being the one coming on to him. I was flirting with him, he was flirting back, and we ended up kissing again. When I talked to him the next day, he kind of blamed me and put the entire situation on me, which doesn't feel good, but I also was more of the instigator the second time. My question is, why am I attracting men that are in relationships, and what does it say about me that I've now done this multiple times? Where do I go from here in this situation with this guy in particular? Thanks.
Wow. I was gonna say, just because you kiss someone or he kissed you, it doesn't mean you're necessarily attracting these quote unquote type of men. But then she did say, it's happened multiple times. Uh, the obvious, predictable answer response would be, we always want what we can't get. And
Boo.
so someone who's not available is more attractive. There's something exciting about the chase. And also, if you guys are friends, there might have been attraction since for forever. And so it
Mm.
kind of builds up. And him kissing you gave you permission, gave you dopamine, gave you, validation, gave you. And so that's would to me would make sense why then when you guys met again, there was flirtation. Now, because he kissed you before, now you're going to um, now put more effort into it because you got the green light.
It's gonna feed the fire a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I do wanna say that, like, not everybody wants what they can't have.
That's true. That's
There are some
true.
people who are gonna be like, "Oh, you're in a relationship, not
Yeah.
interested,"
Yeah.
you know?
You're like, yeah, not even, not even going to consider you.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
how I am. It's like,
Oh.
yeah, I do want like, I had a situation with a woman who was, like, hot and cold recently,
Hmm.
and it made me really, like, I kinda got fired up, and I was, like, more interested than I normally would have because it was hard to get, but I
Yeah.
was
I love
getting
a
the
getaway. Yeah. Yeah.
hot,
The
cold thing, so
challenge.
yeah, but if someone's in a relationship, I'm not interested. Um, Also, I don't think that we are in charge of who we attract that much. Although now as I say this, like, people will say, like, "You are what you attract," or something, or, like, I don't know.
I mean, I think I believe this. I'm not sure where I fall on this, but I know like Vanessa believes that whoever falls into our life, we are meant to collide with for the growth aspect, meaning we're going to put fingers into each other's wounds and activate, and then through that we grow. So there is like a meant or it's greater than us kind of thing, like a spiritual, collision.
Which doesn't mean sleep with the guy, right? Like,
I mean,
that's
I don't know, but it doesn't
what
mean sleep with the guy.
it could mean is, "Oh, here's a pattern where am attracted to people who are in relationships, and this is an opportunity for me to do differently.
Yes.
Is this a fork in the road where I can choose to act differently?" So, this woman that I had been seeing, when I found out that she wasn't really available, I was sort of at a crossroads where I go, "I can continue to pursue this knowing that my nervous system is gonna be dysregulated and that it's not gonna be good for me, but that when we're together, it's really good, or I can make a different decision." And I made a different decision knowing that it was gonna be hard, and I decided I'm not gonna do that this time,
Mhm.
when in the past I have done it, right? So maybe this situation for this woman is an opportunity to do it differently, and she asked for advice. What do I do specifically in this example?
Yeah.
And I think the invitation is, how can you act differently?
Well, also, this is gonna change the friendship, right?
Well, it's already changed the
It's
friendship.
already
Now he's
changed.
blaming her for
Yeah,
coming on to him,
yeah,
even though he came on to her first.
and also he just cheated. He's taken. He has a girlfriend,
Yeah,
and so he's probably blaming her because if it gets out, he doesn't want her to come home. He doesn't want to.
y
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, I don't know, I just feel like this so my advice would actually be to, distance yourself. I don't listen, I get it. People are, we're human. Maybe a couple drinks. There's, chemistry, flirting, and one thing leads to another. And also, maybe his relationship isn't solid, so he's open. Like there's so many factors. I don't want to I don't want to paint someone as a monster or anything. But it sounds complicated. It sounds like a lot of drama. I would kind of distance myself, sit with my feelings, and reevaluate the friendship. Like, if you want to repair it, you can, but I think it's too soon.
Yeah. Also, you might wanna say, "Hey, I wish we hadn't kissed.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
isn't
be
what I
honest how you
want.
feel about it, yeah.
This isn't what I want for
Right.
me relationally and for our friendship, and I feel badly about it, and, yeah, I think we should take some time apart."
Also ask yourself, is this a friendship is it valuable to you? And if it is, that's okay. Then tell him, "Hey, I wanna repair this. Um, I'm gonna need some time, and, let's, you know, think about what happened and process it and come back," and, you know,
I'm a little conflicted, though, because the guy's a cheater, and I don't really like cheaters.
he cheated. I don't wanna say he's a cheater. He cheated.
Oh,
I
nice.
don't believe in the once a cheater, always a cheater, like, come on.
Have you ever cheated?
I oh, we talked about this. I did. Fuck, Sean.
So I forgot, I'm sorry,
It's complicated, but, in my first relationship when I was young, I thought we were gonna get married, and I didn't feel like I sowed enough oats. I didn't feel like I've been with enough women, and so I cheated by paying for services
uh, mhm.
because I thought to myself, "That's the safe way to do it." There's no emotional connection. I just need to get things out of my system, and of course, you never get anything out of your system, right?
Hey, I'm curious, leave a comment, if you think it's better to cheat with a sex worker or with, like, someone that you meet in your real life, because I 'Cause I'm actually kinda curious. Some people might feel like, "Oh, yeah, it was more impersonal."
Well, they're gonna say both is bad, but if
But both is
if
bad,
like
both is
if
bad.
they're gonna say, I mean, I guarantee they're gonna say the physical exchange is a lot less threatening than if you cheat because of an emotional change.
You
Like
might be right.
if you have feeling because it was transactional. So that to me in my mind, I made it okay because it was transactional. If I had pursued someone and had an emotional connection, which turned physical, to me that was cheating. You know, even though I
Do
was
you
cheating.
did it fill the need to sow the oats?
No.
It
No, it
didn't.
wasn't satisfying. It was I mean, come
Damn
on,
it.
you've gotten, like, hand jobs at a massage or something. I mean, they're just, so whether it's that or an escort, I think also part of it was fantasy. Part of it was fantasy.
I don't know if I have gotten, No, I have. I have.
Well, that right there tells me how not memorable it was, how flat this I don't know if I don't remember.
No, I've just never been to a, well, that's not true. I'm lying. I'm lying. I'm misremembering. I was like, I've never been to a rub and tug joint, but that's not true. In Thailand, I have.
Oh, yeah, and also you've been on the other side. You've been the rub and tugger.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I would create distance and, tell this friend how you feel. If this friend doesn't matter to you that much, if this friend is peripheral, then no need to even, like, just create distance and it'll fade.
Yeah,
But
but
that
also
friend's
fuck
gonna be scared that you're gonna tell his girlfriend or it's gonna get out, I'm sure.
for sure, but also fuck that guy for making you feel bad about it, right? When he was
Right.
the one who kinda instigated in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, you're both responsible for this.
Yeah, and also don't be so hard on yourself. Like, so I haven't done that to a friend while I was in a relationship, but I have kissed 2 of my friends. And one turned into a 3-year relationship, and one turned into a 6-month, ordeal.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I did initiate make a move on we were friends, and I changed the dynamic by kissing her.
Well, that's an interesting little side quest because I often hear from people saying like, "Hey, I have a crush on my friend.
Yeah,
What do
should
I
I pursue
do?"
it?
I don't wanna ruin the friendship. And I often say like, "Hey, YOLO, life's too short. What if this ends up being something great?" And then, the pushback is always like, "Yeah, but this could damage the friendship."
Yeah.
And I think
There is risk for
yeah.
sure, for sure. Have you ever kissed a friend?
Um,
Or someone you guys are friends, and of course, the person is attractive to a certain extent, and then the right time and, I don't know, blame it on the moon or whatever, and suddenly you're kissing.
I don't think so. I
Mm.
think that I usually evaluate like a person pretty quickly. They go into the friend bucket or the potential partner bucket or the
Yeah.
lover bucket. Sometimes it's like we're evaluating each other as friends, but maybe there's a little something else. So there's like kind of a dance there. But never I've never really kissed like a long-term
You know,
friend.
kissing a friend is also very high stakes because you guys are friends. If that person rejects you, it's more crushing. I mean, luckily they didn't reject me, but it's more crushing than if a stranger rejects you because that's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's your friend. You talk to this person all the time. So if they're like, get away from me, God, it's so humiliating.
Yeah, I mean that's one fear.
Yeah.
One fear is that you get rejected by your friend and then that changes the dynamic. The other fear is
Right.
that you both go along with it and then it changes the dynamic or like you decide that it's not a good fit and then how do you find
Yeah.
yourself back?
Someone gets hurt for sure. I think with me, when I did it, I felt, her flirting with me, it's not like we went to high school together, we were only friends for a couple of years, um, but I felt the attraction subtly. It was my birthday, we had a few drinks, we were out, and I wanted to kiss someone, not just anyone, but then it's your friends, so you feel close, and I felt the energy, so when I kissed her, there was no I mean, she wanted to kiss me too, yeah,
Yeah.
and then suddenly we're moving in together and buying a parrot and all this other stuff.
I mean, so there are risks, but there are also rewards.
Yeah, I was in a 3-year relationship. We lived together. It was
Right.
a big, big relationship, yeah.
So I was the other man once.
Oh, the one that so she was in a relationship and she, cheated on that person with you.
Well, yeah. Um
You brought it up, man. You brought
I
it up. Look at him, he's shy.
God, John, why do you got to bring this? Why do you got to bring it up like this?
Ugh,
I was at Burning Man and I went to the cafe and there was this gorgeous woman there
mm.
and I ordered my drink and she goes, "Ah, you're the guy." And I was like, "What guy?" She was
You
like,
never met her before?
"No."
Wow. Okay.
And I think we were just like flirting or I was doing
Yeah,
my
yeah.
Sean thing,
Yeah, yeah.
I flirt with everybody all the time. And she's like, "You're the guy." And I go, "What guy is that?" She's like, "The guy I fall in love with at Burning Man." And I
Wow,
was
that's
like,
so direct. I love that wait, hold on, can I just say real quick, if a man said that to a woman, I just don't think it would land as well as a woman saying it to a man. Seriously.
not gonna land at all.
No, no, I mean, you're dodging that shit. You're
Yeah.
rolling your eyes, but a woman says that to you, it's kinda, like, hot and romantic and yeah.
Well, yeah, we're not used to being.
Approached or even yeah.
Yeah, but then there's also the thing where, like, when a woman approaches you, women are always like, "Oh, should I ask him out?" And then that's kind of a turnoff for a lot of guys.
No, and I mean, not for me because that's takes courage, it's confident, women usually don't approach a guy. It's such a compliment.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're interested in her and she comes on to you, it's all good. If you're not interested in her and she comes on to you, which is probably the experience that most women have, right? Is that they're not interested and the guy comes on to them and then it doesn't matter, you're just not going to be interested. But anyways, she goes, "You're the guy that I fall in love with." And I go, "Oh, well, that's cool. We should go on a date, at Burning
Mhm.
Man." And Burning
Mhm.
Man's like, it's like a festival in the desert. It's 10
Right.
days and it's like real life, but accelerated.
Yeah.
So like
Wait, accelerated in what way?
things can happen very quickly, you
Oh,
know.
so you're like, "Let's go on a date in about 4 minutes.
Let's go on a
I'll
date
see you
when your
at that
shift is
at that
over.
tent."
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah,
seriously, when your shift is over
yeah.
in 2 hours, let's go on a date. I'll come back here.
Oh, she was
And
working,
she was
working.
working. She was the
Yeah.
barista. Yeah. I have a thing for
Oh,
baristas. Yeah.
wait a minute. So you were getting coffee and she said
Mhm.
you're the guy?
Yeah.
Well, that's a extra compliment because she has seen many people, she works there. So for her to pick you, it's not like she was in the corner lonely. She was just working and she wow, she must have actually been scoping you out for a little bit.
I think it was just we had a nice connection
Yeah.
right off the bat, and it
Okay.
was, like, super playful and flirty. So,
Okay.
anyways, we go on a date. I don't know that she has she's in a relationship
Mm,
at this time.
right.
And we go on a date, we have fun, I'm all excited, she's excited, and we go back to my dome.
Really? The Thunderdome
It
is what
was like
Sean
a
called it.
it was like a, Kevlar PVC dome
Yeah.
that, and I had a big flagpole that said Shaunville.
Oh god.
That was the name of my camp, was
Oh,
Shaunville,
man.
population 1.
Oh,
Um, but I will
okay.
say Shaunville was very cozy. I had like I like built a bed and like it had like, I don't know, I like spaces. I like
It sounds
nests.
like a fucking Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah.
Welcome to Shaunville.
Yeah. Welcome to Shaunville.
Yeah, anyway.
And then at some point while we're kind of hooking up, she mentions that she's in a relationship.
What? Well, because she wanted to stop, or she's like, "I'm just letting you know, so it's on you if you wanna pursue."
Kind of wanting to let me know, and I was too far gone at this point.
So, you guys had sex?
We had sex, yeah, and I will say that it wasn't that great
Well,
because I felt bad, and
because
she
now
felt guilty.
so I think so you know what she tried to do, and I know men do this shit too, because I had a friend who did this back in the day, and I was like, "Dude, this is a cop out." He's like, "Yeah, I've cheated on my, partner, but I always say I'm taken, and so I put it on the other person." I'm like, "Dude, that's so you still cheated. You still." So I think it's like almost like if she by telling you that she is taken, she's trying to give you the responsibility and take ownership, and she's like, "Okay, okay, I'm not gonna if it happens, it happens, but it's not you're the one that's doing it."
Yeah,
But it's not true.
dude, I had a boner. Like, what? I mean, it's like, it's like, that's
I
not
mean, that's what
fair.
happens at Seanville. Just
That's
boners
what.
all the time.
Yeah, that's true,
Welcome
dude.
to Seanville.
Whether
Um,
alone or with someone else, there's
yeah.
boners.
There's such irresponsibility, but also, I understand that, like, that came from fear. That came from her guilt. That she was trying to be good. She was trying to be like, "Okay, listen, I'm taken, so if you wanna pursue it, it's kind of on you." And then, of course, it ruins the moment.
Yeah, and I think she was engaged. I think there's like
Oh, maybe she wanted to, quote, unquote, "sow her oats" or get it out of her system, or maybe she hasn't been with a lot of men, you
I
know?
was happy to help. You know,
Well, it wasn't that good, so
I know, but still, it's like
how
bad
how could it
pizza.
not be good if she was so hot and you were attracted to her? Because of the guilt? Because
Yeah,
of the elephant in the room? Or
yeah.
because of, like, performance, or because it just
No,
wasn't
no, no, the guilt. Yeah,
oh,
the energy.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's a closure there. There's friction. It's not free flowing.
So once you finished, was it then weird?
Yeah,
Because
it was
now you
weird.
guys
Yeah, and
what?
then I had to drove her home and
Oh
like
god, so like, that weird the blanket of guilt that she sat with, and also, like, put you in while you're driving home.
the drive of shame, dude.
The
Both of
drive
us.
oh, Jesus. And then she got out and she went to her boyfriend?
Camp?
Or a
No, I don't
different
know.
camp?
He wasn't there. He wasn't at Burning Man.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? It would've been someone if it wasn't you. I really feel that way. I feel like she was about to get engaged, ticking clock, maybe she didn't wanna get married, and sh this was her form of, release, escape, and if it wasn't you, she would have said to someone else, you're the person. You're the guy.
Yeah.
You're the guy I'm going
I feel
to."
less special now.
Well, I
I was the
mean,
guy, man. Don't take that away from
okay,
me.
well, and
But
then never
also,
again, huh? Never talked to her, never you guys
no, I
didn't
think I
exchange.
saw her the next year and it was like, okay, we slept together. That's fine.
I wonder if she got married.
Don't know.
Yeah.
I took one for the team that night.
Hey, listen, still another Sean experience, another experience that, John Kim hasn't had, just, setting up, fucking camp in the desert, meets a barista who says you're the one, sleeps with her in Seanville.
Seanville.
Wow.
Johnville.
I wouldn't call it Johnville.
I could
I
set
would
you
not
up,
call it
dude.
John.
I could set you up with a yurt, everything. Johnville, the flag, just cross out John, put John up there.
Oh, just use your old tent,
Yeah,
Johntown. Yeah.
yeah. Johntown.
Yeah, not Johnville.
Yeah.
Johntown. Johntown. Let's get
Yeah.
down.
Welcome to Johntown.
Johntown. Let's get down. Um, underneath it would say, "Tell me if you're taken."
You know
You know?
the the language taken is kind of interesting, right? It's
Yeah,
like
because it's
people use
possessive
it.
and yeah.
People use it. It's like a what were you saying?
It's possessive.
It's
Like, na
possessive. Yeah.
yeah, now
It's
people are like, "Don't say that kinda thing."
well, it's interesting when people say like, "Oh, I'm taken," rather than I'm in a relationship
Yeah.
or I'm not interested. They go,
It
"I'm taken."
it's
It kind of
slightly
removes some of their agency.
but it's also fading. I think, Gen Z is not saying, "I'm taken." This it's more of a it's more like
A
boomer talk.
pretty old school
Yeah, it's old
term.
school.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you taken? Are you taken? I'm a taken man.
Yeah.
I'm not. No.
No.
You know, Sabrina Zohar's been pimping me out on her Instagram.
Oh, has she?
Yeah.
Great. Wow, what
She,
a
sh
friend.
yeah, she put a Shaun single thing.
And has there been activity from that?
Lots of activity from no one who lives in LA.
Wow. Yeah.
Just people asking me if I want to move to Des Moines or New Zealand or Estonia or
Yeah. That's the internet, man.
I know. She said LA only, and she said she got 700 messages.
Wow.
And she was like, "Guys, DM him, not me."
I would be scared to do that because, I would be too scared there would be crickets and, people would know, like, my friend would like, she would know, like, she would be like, "Oh, I tried to, um, set you up," and there or if not cricket, just wasn't 700, and then I would be like, "Oh, yeah, don't do that."
Well, I wanna be clear, I didn't get 700 DMs. She got 700 DMs from
Right,
people
but
just, like,
still,
wanting to
that's
talk to her about me and like, "Oh, would he move to Louisiana?"
yeah,
Or,
but that's
and she's
activity,
like
that's interest, that's a lot, man.
well,
That's a
she also
lot.
has like a 500,000 followers, so,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Well, what a good friend. Wow.
good friend, yeah, didn't convert, but,
Yeah,
some DMs trickling in. Just makes
yeah.
it more complicated and, like, confusing.
No one feels sorry for you. You're getting stuff left and right. No one feels sorry for you, dude. Um,
That was a good
Sabrina,
question.
great seeing you last night. She was also a guest on this podcast, which is
Y
awesome.
yeah, and, yeah, she's sweet.
Yeah. All right. Till next time.
Oh, wait, that's it? 50 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't
53.
wanna do another one?
No,
You
we're only
sent me
doing one episode today. I'm, I'm,
another
I'm trying to
episode?
really savor these episodes since we have very little
They're
left.
so
So,
they're so good. The
yeah.
episodes are so good. You sent me some questions.
I sent you a lot, and
No, you only sent me one page of questions.
yeah, but they weren't. Nothing struck me from those questions. They were kind of backup questions. I also realized I like the live calls, and so reading someone's question is kind of the poor man's version of the show.
But you know what? This one's sort of, this is connected to cheating. I think we should
Six
explore it a little
minutes.
bit.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
6
6
minutes.
minutes. So the question is catching up with someone of the opposite sex for
Mm-hmm.
coffee
Mm-hmm.
without your partner knowing about it okay? Husband didn't tell me they work together, but I don't know the person. So
So I,
this
I have
woman
I have a fast answer for this.
great, go ahead.
Uh, Having friends and catching up with people from the opposite sex. Is it from the opposite sex?
Yeah.
Yeah, from the opposite sex is totally okay and fine. What's not okay, um, is him not telling you. Wait, actually, why would?
Do you have to tell your partner all the coffees you're having?
Yeah, I don't even know if he needed to tell you.
Somebody
I
you
don't
work
know.
with? Having coffee with somebody you work with?
No, no,
And
no,
I
no.
and,
That you
and I
don't.
will
I don't
say
think. I don't think he needed to. Yeah, I don't think it's that
opposite
big of a.
sex is heteronormative, right? That's assuming that
Yes.
that
Yes.
so
Yeah.
of the gender you're attracted to, right?
Yes.
Let's make this a little bit
Yeah.
more interesting. So is it okay to have coffee with someone of the gender you're attracted to without telling your partner about it?
You know what's weird is if it's a work situation and it's just, it's meetings, it's coffee, it's lunches, and that's the norm. And like if he wouldn't tell you, even if he's with someone from the same gender, then that's fine. You don't. That's just him living his life. If it's like on a Sunday, and you tell your partner what's going on because it's the weekend, and he like purposely hid it from you, that's different. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
So, I don't know if he was hiding it or if he was just living his life. If he was hiding it, yeah, that's not good. If he was just living his life, then yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Also, I agree with you. And this idea that you can't have friends of the gender you're attracted to.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
Well, think about this. If
That's
you're
ridiculous.
gay, you can't have friends.
The
If
the
you're
whole
gay, you
listen,
can't
listen.
have male friends. If you're lesbian, you can't have female
Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
And if
listen.
you're bisexual, you can't have friends at all.
If you're sharing your life with someone, if you're loving someone, you have to also kind of trust that person. If you tell that person you can't do this, you can't wear that, if you're gonna control that person, they're gonna feel grabbed, and the whole thing is just not gonna work. So, um, you should have friends who are the opposite sex, or, um, like Shaun says, the gender you're attracted to, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't mean they're gonna do things.
You need some element of trust in your relationship,
Yeah, of course.
right? Like, you have to trust your partner and trust, hopefully, if they're your partner, then some of that trust has been earned,
Yeah, and
right? And
don't you want them to trust you as well? So are you gonna suddenly, like, not have, friends that same gender, like, or the gender that you're attracted to, you're not gonna have. Look, we get things from all different types of friends that we don't from our partner, and that's okay too, you
well,
know?
of course,
Yeah.
because you
They're
can't put
people.
all those needs on your
Yes.
partner to meet
Yes.
all of your needs all of the time. And sometimes I might
Yes.
need to, like, have coffee with a female friend because I like them. I like spending time with them. I like what we have together.
Yes. Yes. And the same thing for me and same thing for Vanessa, like, I want her to have some guy friends that she could go to a bar and have a beer and just fucking they're gonna give her something that her girlfriends don't, and I don't, that's okay.
And
It's
they
about
can
the
talk shit
friendship.
about you.
They probably
They can
do.
talk shit.
It's about the friendship, not about any gender to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and also some people, like, have been cheated on, and so they have trust issues
Yeah, I get that.
in the past. And
Yeah, I
so,
get that.
like, I think this is an opportunity to have a conversation
Or
with your partner.
explore your, fears.
Well, and you can explore those fears with your partner.
Yeah.
Hey, it didn't feel good to know that you went and had coffee with Katie from work without me knowing about it. The story that I'm telling myself is that, like, you have a crush on her, and
Right,
that
right.
makes then I feel insecure,
Yeah,
and that's probably not what's happening, but that's what's happening inside of me, and so I'd love to
yeah,
have a conversation about it.
yeah, I love that. We definitely just talk about it more. Not from an accusatory place, but bring it back to you. There's a lot of I statements. What's going
Well,
on
and
for you?
also, I think the fear is that you bring this to your partner, and they're going to be like, "Oh, you're just being jealous," and sort of,
Yeah, I mean,
minimize.
but if they can't hold a safe space, then that's also telling, right, about the relationship.
Man, we are doing good work here today.
You don't have to announce it, John.
Oh, okay.
Don't announce it. It's
Okay.
better when we don't announce that.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, everybody, leave us a comment. Oh, also, there's like 3 seats left for Love Camp,
Mm,
which is
wow.
cool.
Sold
Yeah,
out.
sold
Nice.
out. It's gonna be fun. So if you wanna go to Love Camp, link in the bio, leave us some comments. Who should we do a podcast with? Is there a difference between cheating with a sex worker or not?
Mm. And
And
and also, oh, sorry, go ahead.
well wishes for John.
Well wishes for me, and, the next thing I'm doing is a 7-day challenge, a detox. We had 650 people do a 7-day challenge, and I was like, "Ho that's the most I've ever had."
That's cool.
Yeah, they're pretty much free, so, yeah,
Price
jump
of a
in there.
latte. Price of a latte.
A dollar a day, $7. 7 day, a dollar a day.
Price of a
Alright,
latte with a tip.
thank you for
Link
listening.
link in the show notes. Have a beautiful week.
Be well.
Be well.